January 2026. A Danish military plane lands in Nuuk, Greenland. Soldiers step onto the ice. They're here to defend land the US now says it might take. Thousands of miles away, in Washington, the president posts a message online. Just 3 words: it will be done. NATO was built on one simple promise: no member would ever attack another. Now it's facing a question it was never built to answer. What happens when the threat comes from inside the family? But almost nobody watching this in 2026 knows the real story. This isn't new. It isn't even a new idea. Back in 1946, America tried this exact same thing in total secret. It offered $100 million in gold for this same island. That offer stayed hidden for 45 years, until now. To understand any of this, you have to go back further than Trump, further than the Cold War, all the way back to 1867. That year, a US official named William Seward made a strange deal. He'd just bought Alaska from Russia for $7 million. People made fun of it. A frozen wasteland, they said, not worth the money. Seward wasn't finished. He looked north again, toward Greenland. Congress said no. The idea died quietly, but it didn't go away. It just went to sleep, waiting for the right crisis to wake it back up. That crisis came in 1940, when Nazi Germany invaded Denmark. Overnight, Greenland was cut off from its own government, with no one to defend it. It was huge, valuable, and suddenly alone. So the US stepped in to protect it. Airfields went up. Weather stations went up, built right into the ice. Planes heading to the war in Europe stopped here to refuel. The military even had a nickname for what it built there: the world's largest stationary aircraft carrier. It was only supposed to be temporary, just for the war. Gone the moment the fighting stopped. It wasn't. The war ended in 1945. The Americans stayed anyway, and in Washington, a much bigger plan was already forming. Not just to defend the island anymore, to actually own it. April 1946. A closed-door meeting inside the Pentagon. A government official named John Hickerson gives a report. Almost every top military leader in the room agrees. Buy the island. President Harry Truman approves the plan. This isn't a rumor. It's official. $100 million, paid in solid gold, sent quietly to the government of Denmark. Denmark said no. Their foreign minister was blunt. America had done a lot, but not enough for this. And then something strange happened. The whole offer just disappeared, locked away, sealed, wiped from public record completely. It would stay hidden for 45 years. It wasn't the public or Congress who finally found out. It was a newspaper in Denmark, digging through newly opened files. 1991. The truth finally comes out, decades later. An American president had tried to buy Greenland with real bars of gold, and the world had absolutely no idea. You'd think that would be the end of the story. It wasn't even close, because the world was about to change again, and fast. A new kind of weapon was about to make Greenland matter even more. Not for airplanes this time, for missiles that could cross an ocean in minutes, and Greenland sat right in the middle of that path. By the 1950s, the Cold War had a new, deadly kind of math. Missiles could now cross oceans in just minutes. The shortest path between Moscow and Washington ran straight over the Arctic. In 1955, US military leaders sent President Eisenhower a secret memo. Their advice: try to buy Greenland again. This time, no formal offer was ever sent, but giant radar stations still went up across the island. A silent fortress, guarding a war that almost never fired a single shot. For decades, Greenland quietly did its job. Nobody talked about it much. By the 1970s, even that urgency started to fade. The Cold War moved on to other fights, other crises. Greenland went quiet again. For 50 years, it mostly stayed that way. Then, in 2019, the idea came back, almost as a joke. A US president suggested buying Greenland, calling it a real estate deal. News shows mocked it. Comedy shows made fun of it for weeks. Nobody connected it to 1867, or 1946, or 1955. But the idea didn't die this time either. March 2025. The Vice President visits a US base in Greenland. It's one of the most remote US bases on Earth. He tells the soldiers stationed there something pointed. Denmark, he says, has failed to protect the island from other countries. By January 2026, the tone has changed completely. The president won't rule out using force to take it. Denmark's Prime Minister responds with a promise to defend every inch of NATO land, including Greenland. Within days, Danish troops are landing in Nuuk. This is where we started. But now you know something almost no one else watching does. This is the fourth time America has tried this, not the first. In 1867, it was a quiet idea that died in Congress. In 1946, it was a secret offer, hidden for nearly 50 years. In 1955, it was a secret memo that never turned into a real offer. This time, there's no secret left to hide behind. It's happening in daylight, in real time, for everyone to see. And it's testing something NATO was never built to survive. Article 5, the promise that an attack on one member is an attack on all, which raises a question nobody in the room wants to say out loud. What happens if the country making the threat is the one that promise is meant to protect? Seward wanted Greenland back in 1867. Truman tried to pay for it in gold in 1946. Military leaders wanted it again in 1955. And in 2026, an American president is threatening to just take it. 4 different times, 4 different presidents, one island that never stopped being worth the risk. The ice hasn't changed in 160 years. The real question is whether the alliance built on top of it can survive. The 5th attempt is already underway. Whether it works, that part of the story hasn't been written yet.